EhihiFy Reflections, we begin again. Refining lives one insight at a time, my friend. Tune in close, open your mind. Journey with us where wisdom you'll find.
Welcome to EhihiFy Reflections. I am Dr. Aigbefo D, Ehihi, and I'm so glad you're here today. In this first episode, we're exploring a powerful tool of personal and spiritual growth reflection. You see, reflection helps us understand ourselves and draw closer to the purpose God has for our lives. Today, being the first episode, we will talk about what reflection means, why is it so essential, and I will share a few ways you can start your own reflective practice. This isn't only about your self-improvement, it's about being intentional in your own journey with God and align our lives, our meanings, and our purpose with God's guidance. I want you to take a seat. I want you to enjoy this episode with me as we dig into what reflection means to us. Let's begin by asking, what is even reflection? Why? Reflection isn't just thinking about something casually. It's an intentional act of looking inward, of pausing, and seeking to understand our experiences, our motivation, and ultimately our purpose. When we reflect, we're giving ourselves time to see our actions, to see into our thoughts and responses, how it aligns with who we are called to be, how it aligns with the image of God. Reflection, especially for those of us Christians, is about listening to God's guidance and seeking clarity. And we can ask, what is God teaching me through this? How does this experience draw me closer to Him? It's about taking that moment to seek His presence and let His wisdom guide our growth. It's a time to look into ourselves and see all ourselves as God's image, if we are so reflective of who God is. So why is reflection so important for us today? Let's explore a key benefit, especially through a lens of personal and spiritual growth. I want us to see it from the perspective of spiritual fitness, how it can benefit our journey, not only our journey with God, but how we thrive here on earth. First, reflection builds our self-awareness. And self-awareness is a gift that helps us understand our strength, our weakness, and even the unique way God created us. As it says in Psalm 139, we are fearfully and wonderfully made. And by reflecting, we learn more about ourselves and begin to see those areas where we can grow, where we can thrive, where we can push more. For example, imagine a situation where you felt frustrated or anxious. Instead of just moving on, you take a moment to ask yourself, why did I feel that way? Maybe it's rooted in something deeper, a need for peace, a need for purpose, or even a need for forgiveness or reconciliation. Reflection helps us uncover these layers and bring us closer to understanding God's work in our hearts. It helps us look closely what we won't see on a normal day. Next, reflection, apart from self-awareness, reflection brings about clarity and purpose. And as we take some time to look inward and find clarity on what matters most, we find that in Proverbs, it said we should trust in the Lord with all our heart and lean not into our own understanding. Reflection is a way to seek God's wisdom. Is to ask, what is God calling me to do? What is my purpose? What is the meaning of my life? Why am I here? And a great prompt here is, Lord, show me where I need to grow. Or simply, Lord, what direction should I take in my life right now? Taking even a few minutes to pray and reflect can reveal insight that help us live in alignment with His plan. Just that little moment to just seek the helper, to seek God, can really help us understand ourselves better. Reflection also serves as a powerful way to relieve stress. You see, when we take time to be still and present with God, we are reminded that we are not alone. And in 1 Peter, which says, cast all your anxieties on Him because He cares for you. By reflecting on your worries and offering them to God, we'll find a renewed sense of peace, of purpose, and of comfort. I want to give you some practical exercise that will help you at the end of each day. I want you to take a minute to reflect and pray. Ask yourself, what went well today? Where did I see God's hands today? This allows you to release your stress and embrace the peace that surpasses all understanding. The peace that only God can provide. And finally, reflection is crucial for both personal and spiritual growth. When we reflect, we see where we've grown, the good, the bad, the ugly. We see where we can improve, how we can walk more closely with God. It's a way to celebrate our victories, big or small, and to recognize the work God is doing in our life. So I encourage you today to keep a journal for this. Each week, note one way you saw God working in your lives. And over time, you see this record becomes a powerful testament of growth and faith, a reminder of God's constant presence and guidance. You begin to see God more in your life. How do I start this reflective practice with spiritual fitness? Relax. At least now that we understand the importance of reflection, let's talk about how we can start a reflective practice that strengthens both our mind and our spirit. I will just give you 3 for right now. There are so many that you can use, but just for starters, we start with faith journaling. First, let's try faith journaling. Let's set aside 5 minutes each day. I think about 5 minutes to write down your thoughts and prayers. And you can reflect on questions like, what did I learn about myself today? What insight did I gain? Where did I feel God's presence? Journaling, you see, help you to capture your spiritual journey and see how your faith deepens over time. You see how you are spiritually formed. When you reflect, when you journal, you begin to see more than you can ever see. And secondly, try scriptural reflection. Pick a verse each day or week and spend few minutes reflecting on how it applies to your life. For example, Romans 12:2 says, do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind. What does this mean in your current season of life right now? Reflecting on scriptures help you integrate God's word into your thoughts and actions. And finally, I encourage you to embrace spiritual meditation. This isn't about emptying your mind or yoga, but rather filling it with God's presence. Spend time, few quiet minutes in prayer, focusing on single thought or attribute of God, like His peace or love. Ask Him to guide your reflections and strength. Ask Him to strengthen your spirit. Spiritual reflection reinforces your spiritual fitness by keeping your mind and heart focused on His will. Let's read the scriptures for ourselves so that we can know God more. We can see the other attributes of God. And as we wrap up this first episode, remember we discussed the power of reflection, its benefits like self-awareness, clarity, stress relief, personal and spiritual growth. We also explored ways to start reflective practice that integrate both faith and personal growth. I want you to remember something. Reflection isn't just a mental exercise, it's a spiritual one. And as you take time to reflect, invite God into that space. Let His wisdom and love, let it shape your journey. Thank you for joining me on EhihiFy Reflections today. If you enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe. Share this episode with someone who might benefit from a bit more reflection and faith in their life. Until next time, keep refining your life, one insight at a time. I say it again, keep refining your life, one insight at a time.
Where wisdom you'll find. EhihiFy Reflections, our time is done. Refine